all down into one word. That word would be.
And we have another question from the audience that I think is also interesting. And they say, how can we turn these wonderful ideas into a social business? And in connection with that question, I would ask, what advice would you have for someone who is looking to maybe begin an organization connected to learning or to work in their communities on project related to learning? Because so if you have some advice for our attendees on those topics.
Well, actually, I think working in education and my field, like gamifying education, it's a pretty tough path. So if you want to work with it, you have to keep working and never give up because no one's going to believe in you. Everyone thinks that the traditional education is better. We have been working with the traditional education for hundreds of years. So no one will be just willing to say, yeah, we can make a new way to learn. We can learn by educational games right now because we are used to learning by using the traditional methods. So if you want to do a project on learning, you should keep believing in yourself and never give up on your dream. Set your goals and start right now.
Thank you, Jana. And I remember.
I would like also to add something. Sorry.
Great. Please go ahead, Butaina.
Yeah. What Jana said. I totally agree with her. That yes, it's not an easy thing to do, to work in the education initiative or project or something. You are changing how people are saying the word or how people are acting with others. So the most important thing, yes, it's very important to have this confidence in yourself and to keep your dream and work on it. Despite anything you will face, it's not an easy thing to do. Yes, and also there's very important things is empathy. It's the sense of feeling others and what they are thinking of. So you keep this empathy with others and keep this connection with others. So when you are going to work in education and going to work with the community, you have to think in what they are thinking of, not what you want to see only. It's as I said before, it's a dynamic connection together. We have to all to work together. So you have to keep this in your mind through your work.
Great. Thank you very much. And
to say, Sonya, sorry, I was a bit delayed there. Yeah, I would also say, so I've worked with a lot of people who started social enterprises and businesses in education. And it seems to me that those who are most successful always maintain a beginner's mind. So they're always themselves learning. They never get fixed on a single idea and believe that it will absolutely work. So my other piece of advice would be to always hold a beginner's mind.
Thank you. And that actually reminds me of the conversation I had with you, Jana, because you actually mentioned that if we learn of a better way to do something, then we should pursue that and go in that direction. And so I think that ties into not being fixed on our current ideas of how to do things, which to me relates to what you talked about, Tomoko, with being open and emptying maybe our own preset ideas so we can think of new approaches to things. So we have a little bit of time left, but I'm just curious as we close if there are any closing call to actions that you would want to share with our attendees, and any closing words from each of you would be great.
It was great that from this webinar and from our talks that we are from different countries, from different culture, but we have the same passion. We have the same way of thinking. And this is what we have to keep always working on it. Wherever you are doing, you will find your way to have a new way of making this learning process more easier for others. because you are thinking of it. So you can start always working on that on yourself and build what you are believing on it, and using any technology or using any tools that can make this easier for the others. So we can all together feel that already we are all together, are now connected in this global network, but also that we are all sharing the same passion, the same problem in different way, and also we are all have to be more open for others and more open to do more and work hardly more.
Great, there you are. And now we can see you again. So perfect to get those closing words from you. Thank you, Butaina. Another.
I have some closing words.
Great, thank you, Anna.
It was really great to talk to all of you and meet all of you. It's really interesting to see different projects from all around the world. And well, about this lockdown, it encouraged us to think about many things. This makes us stop and rethink the way we actually work right now. It made us partly abandon transportation and offices. We have to think seriously about looking for new jobs to fill in the place of the number of the jobs we'll lose in the future. And I think we must invest in the money we use for wars to support medical research and healthcare. It was really great talking to all of you.
Yeah, thank you to everyone for such an inspiring conversation. And I was thinking that we're really at this pivotal time in the history of humanity with what's going on in the world, and for me it was a time to go back to the basic human qualities, to find value in the most basic part of human life. And with whatever we do, or regardless of what field we are in, I really feel like everyone shared today to accept each other and to really feel the connection, and not intentionally, but just be in that connection all the time. And if we know that we're interconnected, there's no way that we can harm each other or create war against one another, because the other person is a part of yourself. So just to really know that we are one and we come from the same source. So that's why we, forgiveness and having compassion towards each other, and respecting each other's lives and different points of views, and also not judging each other by what's wrong or what's good, but to accept the multiple ways in which we can think or in which we can live. Just these things were these real basic values. I think it's a time to really come back to that. And even through this conversation today, I really felt like we are all sharing this common principle and value. So thank you to everyone.
And thank you, Tomoko, for reminding us of that, and thanks everyone for the time today. Just to build on Tomoko's words, it seems to me that if we accept that we are all wholly interdependent, then, and if we want to change education systems, then what we need to do is we need to become a better system. We need to see that we are the education system. It's not something that we should be changing out there, but it starts in here. And I think what my strong feeling is in this call is that we are all trying to model a new kind of education system, so that together we can become a new kind of learning system, perhaps, and therefore become a better, thriving world.
We have reached the end of our webinar, but again, thank you so much to all of you, to Butaina, to Jana, to Tomoko, and to Ross. It was such a pleasure to take time and reflect on learning. And I think one thing that I really take away from this conversation, and something I've believed for a long time, is that learning experiences are happening all day, throughout the day, and they're small, and they build on top of each other, and they're connected. And I think this is something that we've also seen in this conversation. So thank you for spending your time with us this evening, this day.